Hello everyone, David here from That One Sonic Fan, and welcome to a Noobs Guide to the Sonic franchise. Whether you heard of Sonic from the games, cartoons, or that one incident from that one movie,
Meow?
you're in the right place. We're going to be speeding through the essentials you need to know before you get started on your journey through this franchise. So, first things first, who is this blue blur you see right in front of you? Why, that is Sonic. A blue hedgehog who runs at supersonic speeds. He's all about freedom, adventuring, and battling the evil Dr. Robotnik, aka Eggman. He travels the world in search for adventure, or to be a hero for when the time calls for it. But Sonic's not all alone, for he's got his friends backing him up along his adventures. Let's talk about his brother from a different mother, Tails the Fox. A two-tailed fox and Sonic's best pal, he is a genius inventor and tinkerer, and basically the brains behind the team. Not only that, but thanks to his unique trait of having two tails, he can spin them around like a propeller and fly, helping Sonic reach hard-to-reach places. Don't question it. But where you have brains, you have bronze. Entering, Knuckles the Echidna, a guardian of the Master Emerald and probably the strongest Echidna you'll ever see. He's got fists of steel that can punch through any wall, any floor, any ceiling, and any mech. And thanks to his quills, he can glide across the land, being able to reach areas that wouldn't be accessible, or to skip over areas that are deemed hazardous. Again, don't question it. But being a hero that saves the world on many occasions, you're bound to get some fans. Entering, the biggest fan of them all, Amy Rose. Amy Rose is a cheerful and determined hedgehog in the Sonic franchise. She wields a massive Pico Pico hammer which she uses in combat and to solve puzzles. She tags along with Sonic and his friends in their adventures to help those around, from a small little flicky to a murderous robot. Amy Rose has a knack for seeing the best in people. Amy is also known for her strong affection for Sonic and her optimistic personality. While often portrayed as the bubbly romantic, don't let that fool you, as Amy has a hot-headed temper and will use her Pico Pico hammer on you no matter who you are. And let's talk about the edgelord himself, Shadow the Hedgehog, also known as the ultimate lifeform. He is more than just a rival to Sonic. Created by the Professor Joe Robotnik aboard the space colony Ark, Shadow was designed to be the ultimate lifeform. But Shadow's story takes a dark turn when his only friend, Maria, is tragically killed during a raid on the Ark. Her dying wish for Shadow to protect humanity, to keep the world safe that she loved. But of course, what is a hero without a villain? Enter Dr. Eggman, or Ivo Robotnik if you're feeling a bit trivial there. Grandson of the Joe Robotnik, he's been trying to take over the world ever since the 90s, wanting to rule the world and turn it into a casino, or a theme park, or an apocalyptic wasteland, or I guess it's just depending how he's feeling that day. Anyway, he plans on accomplishing this with his mass amounts of robots, badniks, big ass mechs, fucking super destructive structures. Like, seriously, where does this man have the time, money, and materials for this?
I wouldn't worry too much on where Egghead keeps his money.
Wait, what the? Sonic?
Yep, the one and only. Anyway, I think it's time you talk about my many awesome games.
Oh, of course. When it comes to the games of his franchise, Sonic has had a lot of highs and a lot of lows, especially after 2007. But if you want to get started, here are some recommendations that I present to you. Sonic 3 and Knuckles, the classic 2D platformer where Sonic shines in all of his 6-bit glory, along with a company of Tails and Knuckles. Regarded as one of the best in the classic era with its level design, music, and new gameplay mechanics. But if you're feeling a bit more of a 3D approach, why, we got Sonic Adventure 2. Going 3D, you get to experience the speed, chaos, and cool, radical vibes this game presents as you skate down the city streets, escaping from the federal government. It is a favorite, with its stories, characters, music, gameplay, and of course, the godforsaken fucking treasure hunting sections. Oh my god, I hate these so much. They take up so much of my time. I think that's just a skill issue on my part.
Well, David, what if I like both classic and modern gameplay?
Oh, why, in that case, may I present to you Sonic Generations. This game blends the best of both worlds, from the classic and modern eras, with its levels inspired from the franchise's history. But, recently, October, there was another version of this game that came out, that being Sonic X Shadow Generations, allowing you to not just play through Sonic's history, but also Shadow's. But let's say you want to dial it back a bit. You want to go back to the classic era, but you don't have the ability to access the classic games. What do you play then? Why, I recommend Sonic Mania, a recent 2D hit that brings Sonic back to his 6-bit glory, with smooth platforming, amazing visuals, amazing gameplay mechanics overall, amazing soundtrack, and has a bit of a surprise that ties into another game in the But Sonic just hasn't been tearing it up in video games. No. He's also been on TV and the big screen as well. I mean, where do we begin? We have Sonic X, Sonic Boom, yes, as goofy as it sounds, and most recently, the Sonic movie trilogies. But let's say you're not into TV shows, movies, or the games, but you still want to get into the Sonic franchise. Why? Let me present to you the comics. Yep, that's right. If you're into comics, well, you've got a whole other side of Sonic to dive into. Starting with Archie Comics. Starting in the early 90s, this series ran for over 20 years, becoming one of the longest lasting video game based comics so far. It's packed with epic stories, new characters that are never been seen in any other form of media, and let's be honest, there is a bit of wacky goofiness in between, especially in the pre-Genesis era, but you get to meet amazing characters like Sally Acorn, Scourge the Hedgehog, Fiona the Fox, and hell, you get to meet the rest of the Freedom Fighters, and you get to see these new character arcs that are not being shown in the game's continuities or in other forms of media. But sadly, all good things must come to an end. And when Archie ended, a void was needed to be filled. Enter IDW Comics. This newest series keeps things fresh, with fast-paced action and brand new stories, whilst keeping that Sonic spirit alive. And it doesn't drift too far from what we've seen in Archie, as it brings over the same crew that worked on Archie over to IDW, bringing the people who have backgrounds and experience into here, so that way it doesn't seem like there's been a great divide between the two. However, they are indeed, of course, of two continuities. Not only that, IDW Comics seem to focus more on the side characters. I mean, you get to see more of your fan favorites like Blaze and Silver pop up every once in a while, but you also get to meet new characters like Surge, Kid, Whisper, Entangle, Jewel, and a bit of a bonus one for you, Sonic Universe, a spin-off from the Archie comics. If you love digging deep into the Sonic lore, then Sonic Universe and its comics have got it all for you, focusing more on the side characters like Shadow, Knuckles, Blaze, Scourge, hell, even Silver gets his own spotlight, the Chaotix, even Eggman. We get introduced to Eggman and seeing what he's been doing ever since he's entered the new Genesis era and the Egg Bosses. And there you have it. A noob's guide to the Sonic franchise. Whether you're jumping into the games, the shows, the movies, or the comics, you now know the basics to get started. Obviously, I didn't go over everything as, well, there's just so much to go over, plus, I think that will spoil the fun. If I were to tell you everything this franchise has, it'll sort of lose the mystery, the anticipation, the thrill, and the need to continue learning more about this franchise. But before you go, I'd like to announce that I'm streaming over on Twitch now. You can find the links and all that in the description. I mainly just draw, whether that be commissions or suggestions from the chat, and I play video games, obviously Sonic based ones, but along with that I also have a Discord server. So if you like to stay updated on announcements or whenever I do commissions, see cool art, or hell, just chat and talk about Sonic or whatever you're feeling, there's a place for that as well. And I also like to thank my friend Hunicrio for providing his voice for Sonic. He did an amazing job. Anyway, I'll see you all guys next time. Peace.